Ready to go.
Alrighty, ladies and gents, back again, part 2. We got Todd Hutchins, Toddzilla here. I like this topic. This one's good because I've come from a totally different foundation, and you're probably the best on the planet for the foundation that you're going to represent, being arm power. So the topic, hand control versus arm power, where do you stand?
Which is most important? Yes. Yeah. And top rollers always choose hand. They always support other top rollers who pick hand.
Yeah.
But you only got to look at how many times you can take somebody's hand and they don't lose. Taking somebody's hand is not what you have to pin the arm.
Yeah.
To beat the guy. And you can lose a match with perfect hand control, perfect hand position, but you don't lose a match if you've got perfect arm position.
Well, I think there's only a few arm wrestlers, Jerry Caderet, probably the best example, that can lose pretty much everything there is to lose in hand and still not care.
I agree.
Yeah.
But that, just because everybody concentrates on hand, that just means arm wrestling hasn't flipped to the new evolution yet. When people concentrate on arms, especially if you can get in the straps. Because once you're in the straps, now tell me what, the whole argument for hand control or hand power diminishes once you're tied wrist to wrist.
Yeah. Well, my question to you straight up is, do you feel that your own hand control enhances your arm power?
I think it does, because it takes some of the strain off of your arm, but that doesn't mean you can't train. You could train to be a handless arm wrestler, and develop all kinds of power. You can't train to be an armless arm wrestler. Okay.
Yep.
And Jerry Caderet's a good one. I've never pulled Michael Todd, but I'm not so sure it's his hand control that makes his move so effective.
Yep.
He's protecting it. But he's not flopping somebody else's hand. He's just protecting his while somebody else burns out. You look at the old WL middleweight class, there's all kinds of hand-controlled geniuses in there.
Yeah.
RVJ, Storm Chelino, Celiaris. Those are three. Those guys are like 95% hand.
Yeah.
But there's a dominant guy in that class who probably had the worst hand position in the history of the sport.
With a few hammers up his sleeve. Yeah.
So I think people who lose their hand and surrender at that point deserve to be beat.
Yep.
But taking somebody's hand and letting them fight back, and if they fight back through it and actually make it an arm match, and your arm muscles are way bigger anyway, so that match is going to last longer. You're much better pulling through your big arm muscles, just generating more force. And you pin somebody with your hand flop back, they still call you winner.
Yeah.
But you get pinned with your hand in perfect position, they just call you a loser. So I think it's possible to win with zero hand, but it's impossible to win with zero arm.
Yeah.
Unless somebody just flat up surrenders.
There's like for me, I came from the Devin Larratt school of beginnings.
Top rollers.
Yeah, top rolling, back pressure, and even like I often refuse to fight, even if it's in a hook. I still don't just man up and bang on attrition warfare. I still am looking to disengage my opponent's arm power and tempt them to come back to a hand battle. That's what I feel like arm power is the get out of the way, here I come, what are you going to do about it approach. Which
the hand doesn't move the match sideways.
No.
And until the match goes sideways, nobody wins.
Yeah.
You can sit in the middle and spar.
Yeah.
But a duel, but the match ends when it goes sideways, and the hand doesn't generate any side pressure at all.
I think with hand you can make someone give up. You can make someone give up with superior arm as well.
Or you could just pin them.
Yeah. But that's for those guys that don't have the arm power, they often have to wait till...
They better suck it up, Buttercup. We need to get stronger. We're not trying to find a way for weak people to do better. Okay? We're trying to find a way for everybody to get strong.
Yeah. So when you say someone can pin with no hand, again, Jerry is a great example. I still think Jerry has pronation, and even yourself as an arm wrestler, I see you keep your palm always facing sideways. You don't go palm up. That, to me, I'd still classify that as a component of hand.
It is, but there's not, when your hand's back, you're not generating force there. You're just because somebody's not rolling it over, that has more to do with your forearm just twisting it. It's not the hand fighting back, and that has more to do with whether your elbows and forward or down. You can position your hand with your upper arm as opposed to doing some kind of pronating exercise.
Yeah. So where do you like put pronation in the scheme of things?
When I can beat the other guy, I would love to top roll. But if I'm defending against a top roller, I'm not trying to beat his hand. I'm just trying to keep my knuckles. I don't want my hand like this. Now, there are people who can pull with their hand flopped over and they can dig that back. But it's far easier to arm wrestle with your knuckles up and let somebody fight that. But they can go, you can still.
So question for you: do you? Because I break the combat of arm wrestling down into kind of two categories of one, protecting your own access to your power, and the other job being taking away your opponent's access to power. So for me, hand control was always a tool that could do both of those things. Do you focus almost exclusively on just your own power and you don't care what the other guy's doing, or do you think about? I think you want to put
the match into his losing position. So you want the match at 11 o'clock. However you get there. Then if you're going to camp, that's fine. But if you can pin or top roll but as long as the match is on your winning side, to be honest, the refs are kind of on your side at that point too. You can flash pin. You can, they're not gonna. You're less likely to elbow foul because you don't look desperate. You don't have to be desperate because you're winning. Let the other guy try and dig his arm out. And as long as you can get it over there, the natural tendency is in a losing position, most people don't come up to close that elbow. Most everybody straightens that arm out. Well, now they've lost all side pressure. Now back to our leverage. Now you're not pushing their elbow so much as that shoulder. So now you've got 30 or 40 inches to them trying to fight that with their shoulder a lot harder.
And I'm curious about your evolution in the way you decided to approach getting strong for the sport. You came to the sport with kind of missing a whole chunk of time, and so you had to just get strong.
Had to just flat get strong. So what I did, and I stumbled upon the West Side Barbell System because I was training in a gym with a world level power lifter who introduced me to it. And after talking to all the arm wrestlers at the time, it was always 10 sets of 1,000 wrist curls, 10 sets of 1,000 bicep curls, and so I'm in the gym trying to do this stuff, and the power lifter, he goes, if you want to getting stronger is just math. It's just a formula. And he walked me through his bench press routine. He goes, every week I set a new personal record. I add 5-10 pounds to it. I go, well, how? Okay. 5 pounds a week or 5 pounds a month. I mean, now you got measurable gain. You can pick the form up later, and to be honest, form and technique comes a lot quicker if you're strong. Form and tech, it's very hard to use proper form if you're weaker than everybody.
That's true. And you focus predominantly on just getting from center position to victory.
Just hit. Leave everything. Leave the whole hand behind if you have to, but just smash sideways any way you can.
So if you know that you can be strong in all of the different positions that your hand may end up in, no matter where your hand is, if you can still get from here to there.
If you can just hit, because if you're strong in all positions, you don't have to think about what you're gonna. Your body will protect itself. You'll instinctively cup or roll or whatever you have to do. You just got to make sure that you've fired all them guns at the same time and just got everything moving.
There you go. Well, you're up against a very hand control based guy in Devon Lane.
But he's also strong.
He is. He does have arms on him as well. So absolutely. All right. Well, there you go. There's the hand control verse. For me, it's always an interesting one. I think there'll always
more. Now everybody knows the true answer. Actually, it's not even a discussion anymore.
Well, there we go. All right. let's just change
Throw
it.
the grippers away.
But it is, one of the things I love about the sport is there are a lot of ways to win. And sometimes having a ratio of hand to arm works for someone where this ratio may have achieved victory, that ratio may have achieved victory.
If you're strong on both, you're strong more ways, you've got more options.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. But if you are starting out, or if you're a mid-level puller and you need to know what to concentrate on, do 10 sets of 1,000 side pressure motions, not wrist curls.
Yeah, because
you know?
I'd love to, like, I'm right now personally changing, because I spent my first 3.5 years in the sport training nothing but hand. I had no time under tension with side pressure at all. And where I'm at now, I've had international matches where my hand felt like it was fine, but I lost the match.
And all kinds of hand position, huh?
And so I'm like, okay, all right.
But the other guy didn't have bad hand position either.
No, but
But if you can fire that 100 and some pounds of side pressure fast, that's an advantage whether you got position.
Yeah.
The refs don't check to see if your hand was, supinated or pro. They just call match, and that's all you want.
That's it. Awesome stuff. All right, guys, we're going to wrap that one up there, but thank you, Todd. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's a man!